Thank you so much for joining me, Sarah, on the podcast today. I'm excited to have you because I think we can really hone into talking about something that I feel like everybody has, which is a goal and a dream for their life, and how a lot of times people don't really get to accomplish that. And for you, when your acting background and your company, the Mix Company, you've been able to really hone into that and really do such a good job, and you've done a lot of commercial work, so,
Thanks.
and acting work, so we'll definitely get into that and talk a lot about that, so I'm excited to have you on.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be asked.
Of
I've
course.
told you so many times that I'm like, I feel like people are gonna be like, she has no reason to be on a podcast like that. Like, I don't feel,
No.
um, but I'm honored. So I'm happy to be here. And I love
Yes.
podcasts. So
Yes. Yes, you said you had a podcast of your own
Y
as well, right?
yeah, yeah, like, I really thought like, I'm so ADHD with everything that I do, and I was like, "This is gonna be the thing, like, I will stick it out," and I didn't, so so, like, kudos
It's
to you.
hard.
It is hard to
Yeah.
stick out, and I was, doing fine for a bit. I started it when I was, postpartum, and the podcast was kind of, I guess, what we might talk about today, who knows, but the whole point of the podcast was to encourage people if they wanted to become moms, but also, like, continue acting,
Oh, I love
and
that.
thanks. So it was, like, the whole point of it was to just talk about, like, the journey of being a working actor and still a mom, because I
Yeah.
did feel like I didn't, especially starting out, but still now, I guess, like, yeah, I would see, like, famous people who have kids, but it's so
Yeah.
different because 'cause they're, I
Yeah.
mean, A-listers, but and, like, they can do whatever at this point. As far as, like, just working actors that are, like, gig to gig, that are not known or, like, whatever,
Mhm.
think I don't know a whole lot of actors that are also moms doing it, and so I was scared because I just felt like people made it seem like I had to pick one or the other, which I
Yeah.
don't like. So I made the podcast for that, and then I haven't done it in a
I
while,
love
so
that. Well, yeah, we definitely were gonna talk about you being a first-time mom
Thank
also.
yay,
Congrats to that. That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah, and really just tying both in together of how you're doing both, because like you said, a lot of the times you hear you have to pick one or the other, and so kind of how you mesh both of those worlds together, I think would be great for other people to hear.
The way I look at life, is very much like, you only get one life. I
Mhm.
refuse to I think I'd rather pursue something really difficult, like acting and, like, a career in the film industry, which I know a lot of people think I'm delusional for, and that's fine because I am. But I'd rather spend my days doing that and being a mother than, like, get to the end of my life and look back and have regrets for not pursuing what I've always wanted to pursue, if that makes
Yep,
sense. Um,
absolutely.
and so, as far as having both, I just was like, I'm kind of stubborn. So I part of it was like, I refuse to have people feed me this narrative, like, that I have to choose being a mom or
Yeah,
being an actor. Like, I just think, like, it's such a limited, limiting belief. I can't even
yeah.
speak. But and I don't think it, like, has to be true, you know? It's harder for
Mhm.
sure, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was a little easier to do auditions when I didn't have a toddler, to take care of and
Yeah.
stuff, but I've always dreamt of doing both, and so I'm doing both, and I think that I won't have any regrets when I get to the end of my life, and that matters a lot to me, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're kind of similar in that way too. If somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm like, "I'm gonna show you how I can."
Yeah, for
And kind
sure.
of defy the odds. Yeah,
People
that's
I think
awesome.
people, like, wanna be negative about stuff like that because it says
Yeah.
more about them, like, I think there's something that they didn't pursue that they wish that they could have pursued, and so they, like,
Mhm.
wanna put that negativity out on others, but it's really more like, that's, like, their own insecurity that they should deal with, or, like, dreams that they didn't
Yeah.
pursue, and I'm not like, it is a privilege to be able to, like, I stay at home with Rory, my daughter. I know that not everybody can do that, and so in a lot of ways, like, that's a privilege, and, like, I am speaking from a privileged perspective for sure, but still at the end of the day, like, it's a challenge, and but I find ways to do it, you know? Like
Yeah.
I a
Yeah.
lot of times during her naps is when I will, if I have auditions to tape, I'll either like memorize them and then tape at night, or I will memorize like the night before and then I'll tape on Zoom with a friend during her nap or have a friend come over. Um, if I'm like making my own projects, I like the past couple months, I have basically spent every day during her nap time is when I will write and like make revisions to the script that I've been writing.
Yeah.
And then I've stayed up late every night after I put her down to keep writing it. But it's like also worth it and it's fun for me. So it doesn't feel
Yeah.
too draining, you know? Like the
What
creative
gives you that
keeps me.
yeah. What gives you that passion to keep going? Like you said, and yeah, that's one thing we haven't talked about also, and we will, is just you creating like your own short films and own
Mhm.
films as well and writing those and getting that because that takes a lot of work and trusting other people to film and direct and do all of those things as well. And you star in them as well. Like what gives you that drive to know that this is something you want to do and no matter what, you're gonna keep going? Like, what
Yeah.
drives you?
Again, I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
No, but no, aside from like the stubbornness, I really do I think I just have always it's like what I've always loved to do, so it's not even like something that I have to force myself to do. It's just like when
Mhm.
I was little, I would always write stories and sometimes I would like tell my friends I couldn't hang out because I was like and I would actually like
Yeah.
go in my bedroom and like write. um
That's so cute. Yeah, I
Thanks.
love
And
that.
so, like that and, making home movies growing up, even with my brothers, like, we have, like, home video footage that is kind of hilarious of us making stuff, but I think I think also knowing that, like, as I guess one thing is my I know the older I get, the harder it'll become because I do want more kids, at least one more kid, maybe we'll see after 2, I don't
Yeah.
know if I'll go more.
Yeah.
Um, but, like, I think that's another part of I'm like, well, it's only gonna get harder, like, as I get older, so if
Mhm.
I don't do this stuff now, I'm gonna have more reasons to not do it later. I feel the same way with, like, exercise and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I have to be disciplined now to continue being disciplined later when it inevitably gets harder, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And just for people that are listening that don't understand acting, and me and you do, but of course, like the background of it, the auditions, like what that process is to even just get an audition
Mhm.
and tape it. Can you give kind of a little bit explanation about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's different if you are represented with, like, an agency or something, as you know,
Mhm.
I'm with an agency in Atlanta, and basically for any film, television, commercial auditions, I get it from my agent. Sometimes you can like self-submit for like lower budget projects or whatever, um, indie projects, but most of my auditions I get through my Atlanta agency. So basically, the way that works is I will get an email from them through an account called Actors Access, and I'll open it and I'll see what the character is that I'm auditioning for, what the show, movie, commercial is, what the part, what the description of the character is. And then normally you only have like a few days to
Yeah.
learn your lines, as you know, and
Yeah. That's the
find
hardest
your
part.
reader. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, and that is what has been more difficult since having a baby. Honestly, when she was a little baby, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So that is like good news for people if they're wanting to have a baby, um, and they're scared about how drastic the auditioning process will be. When she was so little and like didn't talk, like a
Yeah.
lot of the time she would sleep, and so I had a lot more time during the day to like memorize lines, do script analysis, whatever, whatever. Now I definitely have less time, but I still make it work. So I might wake up earlier than she does to like work on a script, or like I said earlier, like I'll do it during her nap time or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have a couple days to tape it, find a reader. Once you tape it, you might do a few different takes of the same audition. Sometimes you won't. You also they'll ask you for a slate video, which is like your basic information, and then they want to see a full body video. You have to tape that too. And then once you get it all edited, then you send it in, and sometimes your agents might like watch over it first, and then they'll send it on to producers, directors, production,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
The timing of it is faster paced than I think a lot of people believe,
yeah,
and you go out for a lot more auditions than what you get.
for sure.
So, which is the hardest part, especially when
Mhm.
you're like, because for me, I would get an audition and, like, if it was a good script or, like, um one this is just an example, one audition I went out for was, like, Gabby Douglas' Lifetime movie, and I was like, "What? I could be Gabby?" And I got
Okay.
so into, like, wanting that role
Yes.
that when you get the rejection, it can be very hard.
Yes.
So how do you deal with rejection, from the ones that you don't hear back from because you don't always hear back from it, as
Mhm.
well?
Most of
So,
the
like,
time.
what motivates you there? Yeah.
Um, okay, so what's I would say most of the time I've gotten really good at when I turn in an audition, I truly, for the most of the time, don't think about it anymore, and then I just go live my life, which is why they say, like, it's really important to have a life outside of
It
acting in
is.
your career,
Yeah.
because that if you put if you expect all your joy and happiness and satisfaction in life to come from that, you will be sad most of the time.
Mhm.
But I will say, like, the biggest heartbreaks is when you get a callback for something, you get pinned for something, or you just felt really good about a role and then you don't get it. There was a big role last year that I auditioned for that would have been and it wasn't just the fact that, like, the size of the role that excited me, but it would have been like if I booked it a game changer kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
also just felt like there were so many weird connections I had to the character, and like the project was based on a series like that my mom grew up reading, and like it was just like
Aw.
all these weird things that I don't know, felt connected to, I guess. All that being said, I didn't get it. And I was really, really bummed about that one because I just felt like there were so many weird um I was like believing like, oh, there's so many
Yeah.
connections I have, and I
This has to work, yeah.
yeah, and I felt so
Yeah.
strongly about my audition tapes, and even my reps called me, and which typically they aren't going to take the time to do, and they shouldn't because they have
Mm-mm.
a huge roster. But my agent at the time called me and was like, "That was really great." Which is great, and like
Yeah,
I'm thankful, but of course that got my hopes up a little bit, and
yeah,
I did not book it, but it's fine. I've continued to read for that show, which is a good sign. And like, if a casting director, as you know, like keeps calling you in, then it means that they likely like what you're doing, some at least a little. Hope you hope,
yeah,
and they typically aren't gonna like waste their time auditioning you again and again unless they hope to book you at some point. That's what I hear.
yeah.
So that's the goal.
No, but that's a really good way of putting it. Because you do deal with so much rejection, and I mean, I think that's true for, like, any goal that you have in mind or any
Mhm.
dream, really following that through, you've gotta be able to go through the ups and the downs of that as
Yeah,
well.
and I really do like going back to the whole having a life outside of your career, outside of acting or
Mhm.
whatever, like, I really do think that that is huge because, I just have so many amazing friends in my life, an amazing family, uh, travel is important to me, like, we
Yeah.
travel as much as we can, and so, like, I feel so fed and full outside of my career, and like I don't find um my purpose in this. It is tricky. Sometimes I do find myself like um getting my identity wrapped up in it, and I try not to do that, like, because I it's not where I find my identity either. But I think that helps a lot when you can remember like what
Yeah.
your ultimate purpose in life is, and it's not to book jobs, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's awesome. What keeps you so dedicated to keep moving on, though? Like, because 'cause you've been doing it for how long now?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. I guess that's a good question. Well, I knew after I graduated college in 2018 that I wanted to do it. And I mean, I growing up, I knew I always wanted this to be the goal.
Yeah.
I just had like a little freak out in college due to some anxiety stuff that
Yeah.
I just like freaked out about it. And then at the end of college, I was like, no, I do want to do it. So after I graduated college, I started the path of like figuring out what to do, and I did not know what to do. I don't feel like, even though I ended up not getting a major in theater, which was originally what I was doing, I still don't feel like a lot of college theater programs like prepare students for like how to actually get a job in this, become an
Yeah.
actor. So I started like training with Atlanta studios after 2018. And then I've been through a few different reps. And that was maybe 2019 I got with my first reps and they weren't great. And so
Yeah.
I ended up leaving them. And then I went through, I went back to training for a bit, put like a rep, like agency search on pause and just try to get better and better. Um, 2020, I think, is when things started getting moving a little bit. And then, of course, the strikes happened not too long. Well, COVID, nobody was filming for
Yeah.
a hot second, basically nobody. And then the strikes and the pregnancy. So it's been a whirlwind. So
Wow. Yeah.
it's been like a handful of years, but so many, I feel like so many of those years were screwed up by like outside circumstances. But
Yeah.
it's
Stuff you
fine.
couldn't control. Yeah.
Right. I didn't answer your question. I'm sorry. All that being said, I'm like, well, if it started out like that and I was able to push through all that craziness, like it can only one day go up from here, I would hope. That's me trying to be an
Hmm.
optimist. But I was able to get through all those crazy seasons. So I'm like, I got through that, then I can keep going,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I can keep doing it. But it was a hard time.
Yeah. And then also, like, you're married also, so you have a great support system, and you talked about your mom as well. How important is that for you to keep moving on, even on, the times where it's hard to keep pushing forward?
It's everything. There have been some times where I've definitely shed some tears about just like feeling so out of control with the state of the
Yeah.
industry. Or like I said earlier, like getting really attached to a role and really thinking that you're gonna get it and then not.
Mhm.
And I've cried to my husband about it, and he is always really supportive and like he's like the biggest fan. When I booked my this is so silly, but it was really sweet. When I booked my first commercial, um, Alec came home and had like gone to the store, and he came home and surprised me with like he got champagne and he got like
Aw,
tiramisu, and I think he got flowers, and like he made me like he like cooked me a little steak dinner or something. And
that's
like
cute.
it's funny because I'm like it's a commercial. It's not like it was a freaking like how big movie or anything. But that like moments like that are so much sweeter when you have like your wins feel even bigger when you have people, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a husband or whatever, but like friends who celebrate you and are
Yeah.
excited with you, and it makes all the seasons of rejection more worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I think when you can celebrate those small wins, like, I mean, it seems like that's something that you'll always remember is to
Yeah.
you, it's like, yeah, it's a commercial, like it's, in that us as actors, we're like wanting so much bigger. So
Yeah.
we're like, it's just a commercial. But to have
Yeah.
somebody celebrate that and be like, no, that's a big deal and kind of remind you of that. I think it's pretty beautiful too
Yeah,
to be a
for
part of
sure.
that.
For sure.
And then talk to us a little bit about your daughter's name is Rory. Did I hear that
Yeah,
right? I love that name.
RORY. It's
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
so cute. Tell us a little about Rory and, how you balance that with also your company,
Mixed
as
company.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. That's been fun. She is just so like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my days, I think that's actually in a weird way, it's also been, well, not a weird way, but it's been, I've had so much fun with her every day that
No.
I think before I had a child, if there were weeks or seasons where I wasn't getting as many auditions, I would really freak out and be like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?" to my reps. And now, "Hey, how you doing?" But
Yeah.
now I'm like, I just have so much fun with her every day that it really like, um, it makes me chill the frick out a little bit more
Mhm.
easily when I'm having like when auditions are slower, which especially this summer, like they've been slower across the board, I think for everyone. But I, she just is so fun that it makes like life more, it's just fun. Like I just like have a
Yeah.
blast with her every day. And as far as mixed company, I do those events pretty much monthly, but I'm glad that I like didn't bite off more than I can chew because I some people were like, "Oh, you should do twice a month." And I'm glad that I didn't agree to
Yeah.
that. But I'm having a lot of fun with mixed company. They're once a month and it's nice because I just try to schedule it at a time. Well, I schedule it when I know it'll work with me, and like Alec will be able to watch Rory if it's an in-person
Yeah.
event or virtual. So again, you find ways to make it work. And I am very fortunate that Alec is such a good dad, and it's not like
Yeah.
he doesn't, it's not like he's like sees it as
Yeah.
babysitting his kid too. So
That's awesome.
yeah, but it's fun. You figure it out. I'm really ADD, so I'm not typically good at like scheduling and stuff, but I'm figuring it out.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's life too. You just kind of
Yeah,
figure it out
you got to go
as
with
you
the
go.
flow. You got
You
to do
really
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Especially
mean,
when you become a parent too. Like there's so much that you have to like let go of and be more chill about
mm,
that you figure out. But it's good for you. We all need to be a little chill and take a chill
yeah.
pill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like breathe
That
in,
was my
breathe out.
question was how has Rory changed you and made
Yeah.
you better?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think yeah, she like really makes me like chill the frick out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you just cannot like worry about every little thing when you have a toddler that's like trying to break your mugs, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when you have a toddler like reaching for your wine bottles and you're like literally please don't break that. So I have learned to be a little bit more loosey goosey and just like, these are the things that I have the capacity to care about right now, and then these are the
Yep.
things I used to have the capacity to also care about, and they now live down here, and the rest of the things live up here. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Like whatever I can control. Okay, if I
Yeah,
can't, it is what it is.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to let some of that go for sure.
I
It's
feel like
been
I'm
good.
learning that too. Yeah. It
Yeah,
I feel like it's I mean, like, right now I'm having crazy car trouble. It's amazing, but,
yeah,
I'm like, "We'll figure it out." Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to stress over it. I'm not we'll figure it
Right.
out.
I'm also
Yeah.
learning that like part of that is Rory and part of that I'm like is age. Like I'm like, okay, I'm approaching my 30s. Like I have got to
Yeah.
not give a frick about some of the things I did in my 20s.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I have to live my life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's true. It is so true. For people that are listening to, will you explain mixed company to everybody?
I started mixed company before I had Rory and I basically like I am so tired of actors getting ripped off all like left and right. Not ripped off. I mean, some things aren't a rip off, but like nickel and dimed is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Everything costs so much freaking money, and I
It is
know we live.
expensive.
Yeah, I get that we live in America and people are just trying to pay their rent, and like if that's what the market is charging. But like headshots are freaking $1 million.
Yeah.
Acting classes are a bajillion dollars,
Yeah.
and not
Then
to
the
mention
one-day acting classes, those are expensive too,
yeah, right. Like, yeah, the
for one day.
workshops. And so like
Mhm.
I was like, I personally just want to do something to uh like I don't even know how to say it because I don't want to be like, I wanted to like help.
Yeah.
I'm not like trying, look at me. But I just wanted to do something where people didn't have to frickin' pay all the time, you know? So I started it a couple years ago with just the intent to, which is still what we're doing, offering free monthly workshops. Sometimes they're virtual, sometimes they're in person. And the virtual ones are nice because then it's like people from other cities can all hop
Yeah.
on. But yeah, like I have different people in the film industry that will come and speak and do like Q&As with us. Sometimes there are like workshops. So like we've done like a recent one we did was like a dialect class basically, but it's
Mhm.
always free. That's my goal is to keep it free pretty much every time. So I don't make any money off of it. Um, and there was one time where someone the first workshop was free and then they said that they would do a follow-up where it would cost money, but even then like I wasn't going to make a dime off of it. But yeah, the mission is to keep it free so that people, no matter where they are in their career, can benefit from it and can like
Yeah.
not have to go broke by bettering, like furthering themselves in their acting, film career or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the mission. That's the goal. I have a lot of fun doing it. I've had like casting directors speak, acting coaches, um, whoever, and it's just fun for me because I am such an extrovert and I just love to meet people. So
Yeah.
it's been a blast. My one of my I really badly want to do like an in-person workshop at some point and have like a hair and makeup artist in the film industry like do a live demonstration so it could train
Ooh.
people who are interested in like doing hair and makeup for film, and then actors can also like still benefit from it and see all the hard work that goes into it and be nice when they're on
Yes.
set. Be nice
Yeah.
to their makeup artist. But yeah, that was
No, that's really cool. I mean, I feel like we need more of that nowadays.
yeah.
More free.
More free
Because
period.
it is you're right, like, everything you pay for, and I think that's one thing that may help people in that industry as well, of learning more or really getting the experience that they really need is they have to it comes with a price, like, they have to
Yeah.
pay. I mean, just to get an acting coach and have a one-on-one, a couple times a month, I mean, you're
It's
paying and it
crazy.
gets expensive, yeah.
And it's such a
Yeah,
bummer because it's like I feel like acting you pay way more compared to most careers, I won't say all. And then but then like you're not the return is not there.
exactly, yeah, yeah,
Like
it does not weigh
your
out
booking
either.
ratio is going to be way lower
Mhm.
than the amount that you are spending on like acting classes and headshots, but you do need to be training, so it's tough, you
You
know?
do, yeah.
So it's definitely not a replacement for like people training and going to studios and doing all that they need to do, but it's something. So
Yeah, it is. And
hopefully.
then on top of that, you also write do you direct as well?
So yeah,
So
Grace, I co-directed. So
yes.
um
Okay.
I wrote and co-directed my first film. Like normally I'm just acting in other people's films, but when I was pregnant actually, I acted in it and I played a high schooler in my film while I was
Look
pregnant.
at
Um,
you.
I wasn't showing too bad yet. It just looked like I ate a sandwich or something. So I wore baggy clothes and whatnot for the filming of it. But I loved it so much. I wrote it, co-directed it with Jay Galloway, and then acted in it. But it was such a beautiful experience that I'm writing my next project and I am planning to direct that one. And I'll act in it again as well. This
Oh, I
next
love
one,
that.
because Grace, I played the main girl, so I'm glad that I co-directed for that because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Um, the next thing I'm writing, I'm acting in it again as like a principal character, but I'm not the main one. So I feel a little more comfortable directing it, and I'm intentionally writing less lines for myself.
Yeah.
But
No, that's very cool. I think that's one piece that some actors get into. A lot of people talk about that in the industry of wanting to get there where they may direct or write or and it's harder than you think, so, honestly,
mhm,
big kudos to you for doing that. It is much
thanks.
harder to move into that direction, in the acting world. I don't think a lot of people understand how
Mhm.
hard it is to do that and to write. Like, where does your creativity come from?
Thank you. Well, it's so funny because like when I was growing up, I would always say like when I grow up, I either want to be a writer or an actor, and
Yeah,
I loved writing. Like I loved creative writing. It was I didn't feel very I didn't feel like super smart in school, but like English was and writing were the only areas that I felt like I excelled in academically.
yeah,
And it was a bummer because I remember getting to high school and then they like frickin' take out the creative writing classes and then it all goes to boring essays. And
yeah,
I'm like, if I die on a hill, that's gonna be one of the hills that like bring put creative writing back in high school. Thank you. Anyway,
yeah,
but I think like when that happened, then I was like, guess I'll just like make my focus acting. So then throughout high school, acting was really my main focus. Whereas I think if like I got to continue in creative writing, I would have made both my focus. Um, And so, yeah, I mean, I had a journalism degree, but I wasn't ever like intending to go into that, to be honest. I just felt like it was safe. And
Yeah.
I kind of like as an adult, for a few years, I was just so focused just on acting. But I would secretly, like, in hindsight, get jealous when I would see other people pursuing writing, and I would be like, "Ugh, I miss that." And
Yeah.
then after I wrote Grace, or when I started writing Grace, I was like, "Ugh, I forgot how much I love this." Like, and what I love about writing that I don't get to have in acting is like with writing, you can make as many revisions as you want. As you want.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and so the first draft is not gonna be amazing, and that's fine. And, like, the second draft won't be amazing, and that's fine. And you can keep
Yeah.
going and going and chipping away, and then you have this beautiful final or beautiful whatever, final product. Whereas with acting, like, there's more pressure on especially well, theater too, like, shooting and in theater, whatever, like, film and theater, your take is your take.
Yep.
I mean, you have
It's
multiple
hard.
takes, but, like, especially when you're not directing, you don't get to choose what take they use in post, and then
Mm-mm.
for theater, it's especially that way, like, if you mess up your lines on stage, that's what happens, like, that you have
Yeah.
to keep going. So, with writing, it was like it's been a breath of fresh air to be like, "That pressure's not there, I can, like I have time to make the changes that I
Yeah.
wanna make." But I think, like, I'm just not a math girly, I'm not a science girly. I is it does
Like, the
that
STEM is
yeah,
not
the
for
STEM is
me.
not stunning for me. But so that means I'm right-brained, right? If I'm
I
more
think
like
so. Yeah, I
right.
think left brain is yeah, yeah,
Right, the left side of my brain is completely deactivated, and then
yeah.
the right side of my brain is
It's
like and
thriving.
yeah, it's on high alert. So, whatever. I'm a dum-dum here, and I have a little bit of, like, something happening, I guess, there, so
That's so funny. I love that. Yeah, no, it's I mean, I think it takes a lot to step into that role of writing and directing and
Mhm.
making your own stuff. I think for me, I'd always thought about that, but I was like, I kept talking myself out of it. And I think a lot of people do that because it's so much work that goes into it. So I feel like anybody that moves into that space, I mean, honestly, it is amazing to see the work that you've done so far. And I'm really excited just to see what all you do because of the commercials and everything that I've seen so far, I think you're doing an amazing job
Thanks.
at it, yeah, and
I
it looks like it's your passion, though, it looks like it's what you were meant to do.
Thank you. I like
Yeah.
that is so nice. And it really like I honestly the one of the worst parts too is crowdfunding because
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
some people can get grants for projects. The thing I'm writing right now, I do not like it's such a weird, unique topic and it's a comedy that I don't think it'll get a grant, which is fine. Grace, my short film is still on its festival run right now. I'm just learning a ton. And so one day, I do believe like if I continue down the filmmaking path, one day I will hopefully achieve like private investors who will
Yeah.
invest in my films and financial like people who will give their money. But right now, I have to go the crowdfunding route, and I'm not independently wealthy, so I can't just like spend 15 grand of my own money.
Right.
And 15 grand is not even like a big budget. But
You're fine.
the budget for Grace was 10,000. We ended up raising 11. So we used all the money. And even that was
Nice.
cutting corners though. Like of, there was a lot of like, that wasn't a huge budget and it was only an 18-minute film. And so my next project, I am nervous because I will need a bigger budget and I will have to
Mhm.
crowdfund again. But we'll figure it out. But it's worth it. Like it is my
Yeah.
passion for sure. And like I have felt so empowered with filmmaking in a way. I just not that I'm in control of its success or where it goes or if any of my films like my future films will get picked up, whatever. But it does still feel like I have way more control than I ever do with just getting auditions sent to me for my
Mhm.
reps that I happily will tape and turn in. And I do believe like one day something will happen there too. But like in the meantime, I am loving, like, filmmaking and,
Yeah.
telling my own stories, you know?
That's
So
awesome though, because it's like for you, it just seems like in the industry, the entertainment industry, you have so many different avenues, which is great to have. It's not just acting. I think a
mhm.
lot of actors stick solely to acting and branch out maybe later than what you've done. So I think it's very smart and very cool to see you do more than just one thing within
Thank
the
you.
entertainment industry. Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I was literally telling Alec the other week, I was like, "I am so mad at myself that I didn't start doing this sooner, like filmmaking and making my own stuff." Um, I wish I
Oh, no,
had
you're doing
started
it
years
sooner
ago.
than a lot of other people from
Thank
what
you.
I see. Yeah.
Thank you. That's encouraging.
Yeah, it is. I know it's hard too, especially when you don't see, I feel like, the path or the movement as quickly as you want to see it. It
Right.
can get so frustrating.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, that's
can.
within anything that you do, it can definitely get frustrating.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
You put so much effort into it and you wanna see, like, you want that instant gratification, but
Yeah,
sometimes things move at their own pace, which is Gucci and
it's
fine
true.
too.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what we were saying in the beginning of it's you gotta just let go and
Right.
honestly let live.
Yeah, you can't, like, control it all, you just gotta trust the process and keep moving and
Mhm,
taking things, putting one step in front of the other, and you never know too, like, work begets work, like, um,
mhm.
I Grace just premiered at Sidewalk, at the festival, and I had a couple people reach out to me after, and they're like, "I would love for you to be in my film, like, I'll email you the script, but would love," like, and I that obviously would not have happened if they didn't see
Yeah.
the film, and so, like, putting yourself out there will only get you more exposure too, and, like, will inevitably bring you more jobs too, and just, like, meeting more
Mhm.
people. I'm not saying that it's, like, about getting jobs, but that is, like, a nice perk of putting
No,
yourself
it's
out there.
true, and
Yeah,
it's not easy to put yourself out there,
for
so,
sure.
to do that, yeah, it leads to much more than I feel like you would ever think it does when you actually put yourself out there.
Yeah. I, like, there's so many commercials. I mean, there are some commercials that I have not posted just because I get weird about it. But like I will say the couple times or the few times that I have, even those when I haven't wanted to because I get like embarrassed just like posting anything ever that I do.
Yeah.
Those have gotten me jobs. Like some of my commercials that I have also booked was from people seeing another commercial if I posted it or something, and then they'll like reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I had this commercial. Would you? I would love. I saw this thing you did. So whatever. All that being said, like it feels awkward to share what you're doing, and I never want it to seem like I'm like trying to pat myself on the back or anything.
No, but it
But
helps to know that.
yeah, and like social media really is like the creative LinkedIn. You know, like it's just
Mhm.
where you have to promote your work.
Yep.
You don't have to, but it helps if you have work to
Yeah.
promote and stuff, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
it
better about that.
definitely helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same way, just trying to see the good in it and yeah,
Yeah, it's awkward.
go forward with that.
It feels
It
awkward to
is
do.
yeah, yeah. You're like, "I don't wanna brag, but here I
Yeah,
am. Look
for
at this
sure.
screen." Yeah,
Or, like,
yeah.
even, something I'm so hard on myself, so, like, I'll post something and I'll tell my friends, I'll be like, "My voice sounded weird in that line." And they're like, "We literally did not think that." But okay. I'm like, "It was did you hear how my voice was too soft?" They're like, "Sarah, it was a frickin' unibrow commercial. Your voice is fine." Like, "Get over it." But
I think we're all like that, so
yeah.
critical of our own selves, and other people are like, "I never even saw that. I don't
Right,
know what you're
right.
talking about."
Where, like, you literally had one line in the commercial that was 30 seconds, like, "Chill the frick out, please."
Yeah. I
But
think you did great, and I didn't even see what you're talking
oh, thanks.
That's
Thanks,
funny, I
Brandi.
love that. I love it. For anybody out there that may be wanting to follow a goal and dream, it doesn't have to be acting, just anything out there. How do you tell somebody to get started and to take that first step? For you, it just seems so passionate for
Mhm.
you and something that you've been wanting to do since you were little, but someone that may have just now stepped into like, this is something I want to pursue, but I'm so scared and fearful.
Yeah.
What do you tell them to do?
I really just fully believe you have to remind yourself that you only get one life. And
Mhm.
so literally, who cares if people are gonna think you're cringy?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of your life, when you are on your deathbed, not to get morbid, but when you're on your deathbed, you don't want regrets. Like, that just sounds awful to me. So I
Mhm.
really encourage, like, Alec even, was scared. He works in commercial real estate, and it was a big jump for him, because he doesn't have any family who ever did that. He didn't really have those connections, and it's a commission-based job. And so it was
Yeah.
scary for him to start that because you're not guaranteed a salary, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, "Do you really want to like money, finances aside?" Which I know like a lot of people would think is dumb, but I was like, "Just pause that for a second. Like, is this something that you really want to do? And like, would you regret it years down the line if you didn't do it? Yes or no?" He said, "Yeah, I would. I think I would regret it." I'm like, "Then you're doing it. Like, you should do it."
Yeah.
Because you only get one freaking life, my gals. Can I just say,
Yeah.
you only get one life, my gals. Put it in your brain,
Yeah.
okay?
It's
If
true.
you have
Yeah.
anything you are passionate about, please, for the love of our good Lord Jesus Christ, please do it. Please pursue it. Like, everybody, I know it's a privilege, again, privilege for me to say that, but I really believe if you're passionate about something, you can find a way to make it work, do it, hustle, do all the side hustles you need to do to make it
Yeah.
happen. Live in a tiny little apartment, whatever. Like, pursue your freaking dreams, because you just don't want to live a life of regret. Like, that is my
Mhm.
biggest fear. I am like so much more afraid of living, like, looking back and wishing I had pursued acting. Like, I'm fine failing at acting if I never make it, whatever that means. If I never make it, I'm gonna be so proud of myself that I spent these years pursuing it and I'm enjoying it. Like,
Yeah.
auditioning is fun, like, all these little, even the commercials are fun. Like, I'm having
Yeah.
a good time. So, like, fricking do what you wanna do. Also, like, you have gifts for a reason. Um, you listen to your gut. Like, if you're like, "I feel like I am exceptionally good at this thing," then, like, listen to that instinct. Sorry, I ranted. That was a
No,
very
no, no, no,
long-winded
that
answer.
is no, that is great. I think it will help a lot of people that because I think it's just so easy to, like,
Mhm.
have these dreams and goals, and they just stay in your mind. I think
Yeah.
it's so easy to not really pursue it or even just try, so
Yeah,
I
for
think that's
sure.
a great rant for the end of this. It's
Thanks.
perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. I think this is gonna be an awesome episode, and I'm really excited for people just to hear it because it'll touch any and everybody out there that, maybe having it in the back of their mind that, "Huh, I think I wanna do this," but, like you
Yeah,
said, ask yourself that question, "Are you gonna regret it or not?" And
right.
there's your answer.
I
Yeah.
love you. You are so freaking good at this. Like, honestly,
You're so
I feel
sweet.
like the interview went by so fast. It is you,
Right?
to encourage you, like, you are very good at this podcasting thing.
Thank you.
Please keep
Thank
going with
you.
it.